Hello, this is N5YX. Name's Grant. Just wanted to help a couple people out, show them how to use the WiresX software and get it set up properly. Currently, we're looking at the WiresX program, as you can see in the top corner right here. As you can notice, this little green light has my call sign. It's my local repeater. It's green currently because there's people talking on it. When somebody unkeys, it'll actually change color. So let me start by basically showing you my setup, and you can see what I'm working with. Basically, I have a laptop, and it's sitting on top of my Yaesu Fusion DR-1X repeater. Currently, I have it in RX Auto and then TX FM. The repeater is pretty straightforward as far as how it's set up. Currently right here I have the WiresX box just sitting on top of the base part of my 400. I have this little fan kit. It's an accessory, the SMB 201. It's a fan kit to cool off the 400 when I use it in data. Currently I use the Yaesu FT1 for analog and digital, and I also have the 400, which also works as well. But I basically, as far as the WiresX goes, I have this box connected to USB. The gray cable right here is plugged into radio port 1. Don't plug it into radio port 2, it won't work, and you'll just create a headache for yourself. Also, install the software before you install the WiresX box. Microsoft will probably assign a program that doesn't work, and you're better off loading the manufacturer's software before you plug in the WiresX box. Otherwise, you might have to uninstall it later. The gray cable I currently have plugged in to the back of the repeater right there, and as you can see, my duplexer is just sitting on top of my repeater. I have the Telwave duplexer just sitting on top of the repeater with the laptop on top. Alright, let's talk about the software. I'm going to run it through really fast because you can pause it and repeat if you miss something, so I don't want to make the video too long. So let me start off. This little box right here, let me grab it. This box right here will tell you who's in the room. Currently it's just my repeater. When they key up, it turns green, and it also says internet. That means they're passing traffic across the internet. This is a timer, so they've been keyed up for 10 seconds. This box tells you what repeater or room you're in. It's currently in analog mode. When you first start the program, it's going to say on-air lock. The lock needs to go away in order for you to transmit across the internet, so you click on the button, and that will go to on-air. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the... right here, I'll start with this. If you can see this top window, I'm going to cover it up. This right here, this top window is my bookmarks, and the window below it, let me move this to the side. This middle window is normally larger, but it's how you connect to individual user IDs. I normally don't connect to somebody individually unless I want to have a one-on-one conversation. If you connect to them directly, if they're in a room, you'll actually take them out of the room, and some people might not lock that. So what I do is I'll actually go to a room and connect to them through the room and have the conversation there. As you can see, this is the room IDs. I prioritize them by active users. That's what the ACT is short for. So let me click on that. And as you can see the list of rooms. CQ Worldwide is currently one of the most popular ones because all the stations from the US and all over the world are connecting there. You can always connect to my room also. It's 21080. I'm more than willing to help anybody that has questions. Let me move this box out of the way. On the other half of the screen, basically it'll show you some information as far as users connected, last user, my personal ID number, the room ID, and the activity in the room. Currently it's just been people or the repeater IDing. There's a text window right here, so you can send people's texts. If you're having an issue with transmitting or people hearing you, you can actually type in the box and click send. So that's the basic window. Let me go to the setting up feature. You go up here to file, and I'm going to start with the transceiver, and we'll go to that window. Currently this window, I have mine set up in analog. There's also other modes, digital. I don't like to limit myself to digital right now, so I have it in analog. I have my repeater settings in here. This is optional. It has some effect, but until they come up with the firmware update, it's kind of optional as far as its usefulness. So let me back out of this window, go to the next. You're going to be spending most of your time in this next one. Go to File, Settings. This window is going to be your most popular one. You'll probably go back to this several times. So what I do is I'm going to start off with the first window, and you can look at each one for yourself. Serial number, call sign. You can change your user ID. I personally, if you look closely, I put my call sign and my name. That makes it easier for people to remember my name, location, description of my node. And then I'm going to go through these tabs one by one, and like I said, you can pause it if I go too fast. Location, so people can see where I'm located on the digital part of it. Description of my room, basically some information. Okay, and on this window you can basically change all these settings. The ones that I found most useful is the pre-emphasis. You check the box, and also the mic gain. I changed it to TX12. That's not what it's set by default. Whatever changes you make, you have to hit the right button down here in order for it to apply. It's the apply button, and then you'll notice the changes. Okay, going to the next tab, call settings. I personally, I enable this, and also if I get disconnected from a room, within 30 seconds it'll reconnect me to my node, so I'm not stuck in between rooms in limbo. Next one, general settings. This is not the default, but personally I always select unlimited talk time. The program still has that 3-minute timeout, so I'm not certain what this does, but it tends to kick me out of the software or kick me out of the room after a certain, I guess, 10-minute default, which I personally don't like. So I did unlimited. I checked all these boxes. Some of them don't work, but they will in the future. My favorite's the DTMF asterisk sign. What it does is instead of having to hit pound 99999, all I have to do is key up and press the star sign, and it will disconnect me from the room. And like I said before, within 30 seconds it'll reconnect me to my room if I don't choose a new room. These are the settings for my CWID. It has a lady's voice for a connection response. When I go into a room, it'll tell me some information. When it this actually IDs for my repeater. It does it every 10 minutes, just gives my call sign. And you can adjust the CW speed, volume, pitch, and the voice and everything else. These last two tabs I don't really use. They are useful, but I don't use them, so you can read up on them later. It's more advanced. So I'm going to close this window. All right, so the next one I'm going to, you'll see up next to File, it's View. You're going to spend a lot of, well, you want to double check this, make sure it's set up properly. Go to Audio, adjustments towards the bottom. Once you click that, this is your sound card. The Yaesu HRI 200 box is basically just a sound card, just like a Tigertronics signal link. So as you can see down here, let me get it in focus, if it will. Let's see if I can help it focus. Okay, there we go. You can see the volume, and I have mine currently at 80 and 15 is the setting I have mine on. And I don't really use the settings off to the left over here. I mainly use these two. You can adjust the volumes of the transmit and receive right here, or you can go to Windows, and I'll show you how that works. Go down here, and then your Windows box pops up, and as you can see, your HRI 200 is actually listed as a sound card set as default. I'll go to that's playback, so let me go to recordings, and you can see the microphone is also set to default HRI 200, and you can go in there and change the levels and everything else. Don't get too creative, because the default settings are recommended, and some people have changed the baud rate and some of the other settings and created a new problem that didn't exist before, so you should be okay with the default settings. So I'm going to close that window. Hopefully the guys are still talking on the repeater. Otherwise I'm going to switch rooms. So currently I just have my repeater and that's it. And let me see if I can get them on the radio real quick. N5YX. Anybody there?
KE5ZQJ, yes, I'm standing by.
Okay, Kyle, you're on there. Anyways, just wanted to show everybody the system. Currently, I'm talking in analog, and I'm just showing them how the repeater works. This is FM, and I'm going to switch to digital real quick. All right, this is digital, N5YX.
I'm a station roughly 20 miles away, and for me, it's relatively very little different. You can tell it is slightly, it does sound slightly different, but very little and good quality sound.
All right, and then I'm just switching back to analog. But anyways, let me get off here and finish the video. Thanks for the help. I'm actually going to connect to the CQ Worldwide and show them that also. I'll be back in 5YX. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect. Typically people, what they do is they go to the top of the window right here. They go to connect, and they go to disconnect. And that basically backs me out of the room. You'll see this box went blank and I'm idle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to room 20,000, and you can right click and go to connect, or you can go back to the top, and when you're going to see a box pop up. This is a list of all the users in the room, and it has a little greeting box over here with some information depending on what the person set up in the system. But this is basically people in the room, and then you go back up here. It actually says in this box, CQ Worldwide, Internet analog, and then all the boxes should be gray if the system's working properly. One last thing before I go is some of you might have problems with your port. You have to make sure that your antivirus passes the ports or enable the program to pass through, so always check your antivirus if you're having port problems. Also, you're going to have to set up your router either with permanent port addresses, or you're going to have to set up the UNP. The way you check it is going to Tools, Port Check, and you'll see everything right here says OK. You sometimes have to run the program more than once, so you can click on it a couple times. Mine are OK. I've had the system on the air over a month, and I've only had to reset the router once. What happened was another computer was trying to use the ports So 3 of them were assigned to one PC, 3 were assigned to the other. So resetting the router fixed that. But overall, this is just a general demonstration of how it works. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to disconnect. And there you go. And as you can see, I'm out of the room. I'm no longer in the room. I'm kind of in limbo. And then within 30 seconds, it would reconnect me back to my room, and I could talk there. But if you have any questions, let me know. I'm more than willing to help. Hopefully the video came out well. Have a great day. 7-3.